Hello, welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and I'm bringing you a reading today that was inspired by a comment that was made in another reading, and something that I think we often think about. You know, when people say to you, follow your passion, and you may be at a space where you're like, what is my passion? I don't know what my passion is. And we're often either deepening our understanding of what our passion is, what's pulling us forward, or we're discovering what that is. And so in my meditation and prayer, I felt compelled to do a reading on that. So today, that's what we're investigating. So we're going to pull, I've pulled 4 piles. I haven't yet done the full pile picking. I just pulled the initial cards in my prayer. And we're going to investigate first, what is my passion? So we'll pull some cards on that and try to investigate that. And then we'll dig into, what do I need to know or do to pursue that passion? And then we'll get a couple of cards with guidance from Spirit. Now, if you're interested in the pile picking, I'll be doing that next. However, if you just want to go directly to your pile, you can go to the description or go to the comments, click the timestamp, and go directly into your pile. I would suggest that you take a moment and just breathe, maybe do a quick meditation, hone in on the cards that I'm about to review for each of the top of the piles and the crystals, and see what is intuitively pulling you so that you know which pile to go to, and then click your reading, all right? If you're new to the channel, please go down there and click that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. It helps me to grow the channel and reach more souls, and I'm just excited about this journey because this is actually one of my passions. All right, that being said, let's jump right into what we have for the reading. So for reading number 1, you will be the Lapis Lazuli crystal, and you will have this card here. Okay. Reading number 2, you'll have the Tiger's Eye. And you will have this card here, drawing you in. Okay. Reading number 3, you will have the Rose Quartz and this card. Okay. And reading number 4, you'll have the yellow Aventurine and this card. Okay, so those are going to be your piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Feel free to go directly to those piles, and we will start doing the pile picking in just a moment. Okay, let's get into this pile picking. We have quite a few cards to look at, investigate this. So we're going to pull one from the Sacred Forest. And in this piece, I'm going backwards. So I'm looking at what is the guidance from Spirit? What is the guidance for Spirit on the path? So for pile 1, for pile 2, and let's see, pile 3 and 4, pile 3, and pile 4. I'm going to actually pull this down a little bit so we have room. This is my pile 3. Okay. All right. And then we're going to pull one of the Flower Oracle Medicine cards to see what might be something that can support you. And this is going to be for 1 and for pile 2. For pile 2, Spirit. Pile 2, what is their guidance? 2 and 3. And let's look into 4. All right, and now, okay, so those are going to be the guidance from Spirit. And then now we're looking into what do I need to know or do, okay? And we're going to pull some tarot for that. We're going to pull 2 of the Awaken cards. What do I need to know or do to pursue for pile 1? It looks like we've got 1 and 2. This is actually popping out for 2. And one more for 2. 2. And for pile 3, Spirit, investigating. What do they need to know and do to pursue their passion? What do they need to know or do to pursue their passion? We got 1 and 2. And then for pile 4, what do they need to know or do? Okay. 1 and 2. Okay. Then we're pulling 2 from the Muse for additional guidance on what do we need to know and do to pursue the passion. It's going to be 1. Okay. Oops. And 2. And for pile 2, 1. And that one's popping out. It's going to be 2. And for pile 3. Pile 3. What do they need to know or do to pursue their passion? Do they need to know or do to pursue their passion? There's too many cards here for me, Spirit. Okay. Put this one on it. 1. What do they need to know or do for pile 3? Okay. And then for pile 4. For pile 4. They need to know or do. Beautiful. 1 and 2. Okay. All right. Now. Okay. So now we're doing 1 of these each. These are oracles for guidance on tools or things that you need to know or do for pursuing your passion. For pile 2, Spirit, what do you need to know or do? So it's going to be that one there. And for pile 3, oopsie, and all right, pile 4. Okay, and then any guidance from the Chakra Love Oracle, in case there might be something that might be able to help you there energetically, your chakras to help you get to your passion or pursue your passion. So Spirit, for pile 1, what might be some guidance for pile 1? 1. And for pile 2. And for pile, okay, pile 3. And for pile 4. Okay, so that's that. Now, the last couple of cards here are going to be the actual what is my passion, right? So we're pulling 2 tarot to understand what is the passion for pile 1. For pile 2. Pile 2. Already got 1 there. Okay. Okay. And then for pile 3, we're investigating. Okay, Spirit. Okay. And then for pile, that one popped right out, didn't it? 4. And then, okay. There's a lot going on there. All right. All right, so those are going to be, and then actually we're doing 2 more. That's right, 2 more tarot. This is all about what is my passion? What is it? What is my passion? Understand what is my passion, Spirit, for pile 1. What is their passion? What is their passion? Any guidance that you can give them? What is their passion? And that's 1 and 2. Okay, and for these are slippery. And for pile 2, what is their passion? Okay, 1 and 2. And for pile 3. Their passion. Okay. 1 and 2. And for pile 4, what is your passion? Oh, okay. 1 and pile. Oh, okay. Okay. These cards are jumping. All right, and then we just have a charm card and an oracle card. So, one, that one keeps poking out. 1, 2, 3, and then what about 4? 4. Okay. And then finally, these little charm cards. See, little everyday guidance. So for pile 1, what do they need to know? Spirit, what do they need to know? It's only 1. And for pile 2, spirit. Okay, and pile 3. And pile 4. Okay, these are hefty little readings. Look, I looked at the timer on there and it said 11:11. Okay, so that's good. So, hefty little readings there. These are going to be our piles. We're going to organize them here. It's quite a little handful of cards that we're going to go through. This is going to be for pile 1, which is the Lapis Lazuli. And this card, okay, and we showed in the overview. And all these cards are going to be for pile 2, which is going to be the Tiger's Eye. And, oops, this will be for pile 3. Okay, pile 3. And I will turn them this way, but we'll turn them back around right because I know which direction. Actually, no, I'm going to do them this way. Pile 4. Okay. So those are going to be our piles, all my beautiful souls who have joined, seeking understanding about your passion. And hopefully this will give us the guidance that we need. I'm looking forward to doing these readings, and I will see you in your readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Lapis Lazuli, this is going to be your pile, and this is the card that you have. Now, let me just kind of reset again what we're doing. So for this reading, we're looking into just getting some more information, getting some clues, some hints, some guides around what you're passionate about. What is your passion? And it came up in the question of, this need to follow your passion. And someone asked in the comments, well, what if you don't know what your passion is? And so it came to me to do this reading where we talk about what is your passion. So we're going to look at that first. And then we ask the question of what do you need to know or do to help you to further pursue your passion? And then finally, just a couple of cards with some guidance from Spirit and the Divine. So this card was actually from that last section of it. So we will come back to this card at the end of the reading. Okay, and we're going to jump right into trying to investigate and get some ideas around what might be your passion. I want to say, just remember that this is a general reading. Again, this is Ade. If you're liking the content that you're getting on the channel, please click that subscribe button. But I want to just say that this is a general reading, and the process of understanding what your passion is, for some of us, can be a lifelong process. So there are multiple ways to discover what your passion is. My hope here today is to just be able to give you a little bit of insight of what your guides and, what Spirit is giving me through the cards to direct you. So it will feel a bit general because it is a general reading, but hopefully it will give you some insight. So let's jump right in. So I pulled oracle cards and I pulled some tarot cards. So your oracle card, wow, what a beautiful card to talk about. Okay, so this card is the magical map shifter card. And what's really powerful about this card, and I'm definitely going to read some of this to you because this is really important. This is really talking about your power of shifting your reality. So for those of you who are kind of trying to figure out what direction do I go, and like, am I in a career? You might be in a career or been in a career for a while, and maybe it's not meeting your needs, or you're not feeling passionate about getting up every day to do that career. This, it's like she's got a compass, and the compass is literally right where her heart is. And so the first thing that I would say to you is that this is going to be important for you to tap into your heart space, okay? Allow yourself, sometimes we have to slow down to really tap into like, what do I really desire? What gets my heart pumping, right? What gets you excited? What puts a light into your eyes, okay? Whether that be, and you can explore what subjects excite you. What do you like to talk about that get you excited? You can even think about, what are you watching in media? What makes you click the thing? What makes you turn on that and stay watching whatever it is that you're watching? What is it about that thing that excites you, that gets you going about, what's passionate about it for you? So the magical map shifter, it says spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. Okay. We all came here with a purpose and a plan. And so sometimes it takes a while to discover what this is, but it's interesting because she clearly has the key, and the key is coming up from the compass. When the compass is beating or turning, if you will, by the beat of her heart. Okay. So it's really telling me that all of you souls that chose pile number 1, you have a divine purpose to be here. You have a reason to be here. It's just a matter for you to slow down and tap into that feeling space in you, that heart space in you that gives you direction. So when this card arrives, it comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life and impact your personal growth. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best you can be, or someone who leads you out of difficulty and into a place of safety or success. Pay attention to those individuals who cross your path today and cause you to reflect on your journey. Be awake and aware, and you'll recognize them for the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. The magical map shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. So the key thing about this card, it's 2 things. 1, you need to look at the compass of your heart and let that be your guide. The other thing is, you beautiful souls who chose pile number 1, you need to be paying attention to the people who are either currently in your life that are causing you to shift the way you think about things, or even more importantly, those individuals that are coming into your life recently. Because Spirit is saying that these individuals can be major change agents for you and open your eyes to what is already existing. So this isn't talking about people coming in and sort of leading you blindly or leading you astray. It's talking about when you connect with another soul, when another person comes into your life and you're like, oh, God, that feels really good. Like, I definitely want to connect with that. I definitely want to learn more about that. I definitely want to, whatever it might be. It's the thing that ignites your heart. So new individuals that might be affecting you, and the ones that are igniting your heart in some way, stimulating you to want to learn more about something. Pay attention to what it is that you're wanting to learn more about, because that is going to be a key to your passion. Okay. Now you've got the white rabbit. Okay. And this immediately reminds me of the Alice in Wonderland story where the white rabbit is coming up. Okay. When it says follow the white rabbit, right, it leads you to a place of like sort of extraordinary events, right? And so there's an opportunity here for you to, so to speak, follow your white rabbit, okay? So let's see what this card here says. So it says, luck is on your side. Take that calculated risk. So here's another clue. If any of you all have had in your mind, It says an opportunity is on the way. If there's something that, if some of you have been thinking about wanting to start a business, if some of you have been thinking about, oh, I kind of want to take a risk and do this other type of work or this other job, even within my same field, this is saying this is where you need to be pulled. Follow the white rabbit, right? Follow the white rabbit. The situation may challenge your belief. It may change your entire life, but that is in fact where you need to go. It also talks about wanting to express yourself to someone. Now is the time. And so let's see what else. I feel like we may need to come back to that expressing yourself. That might be another clue for us. This talks about needing attention and validation. Okay. So something that where you're going to be acknowledged in. Okay. Let's see what our tarot is saying in regards to, oh, okay. So you've got the Lovers card. Okay. So that's giving me some idea. The Ace. Look at that card. The Ace of Wands. Okay, new beginnings. Okay, I'm going to pull all the tarot for the passion section. So, and then you've got the Six of Swords. Okay. Wow. And the Ten of Cups. Okay, so with regard to the question of what is your passion. So there is, when you talk about the Lovers represent like a duality. It also talks about choices. It also talks about partnership. So the first thing that comes to mind is that where your passion in all likelihood lays. Well, one, we've got this magic shapeshifter that's saying, pay attention to the individuals that are coming into your life. So that's one clue. So connections are going to be important for you when it comes to your passion in this pile. Okay. The other thing is when we talk about the Lovers, you may be looking into things, you may want to lean into thinking about things where the role or the work that you're doing is in partnership with someone else. Okay. It's in partnership with someone else. So it could be consulting. It could be counseling. It could be connecting with other people through like public relations, marketing, networking, okay? All of these are kind of areas within how the Lovers card can kind of represent into the career angle, right? Thinking about the way occupations which cause you to connect with other beings. And I think that this in alignment with this map shapeshifter for you, particularly Pile 1, is really talking about looking at where those partnerships lie currently for you, that is where you're going to find your passion. Now, the Ace of Wands is a very, very beautiful card to have because it's got so much power. Like the wands represent fire, and then the ace is going to be beginnings of some kind. So this is letting me know also that some of you all, many of you who maybe are listening to this pile, your passion is going to come from a shift of some kind. It's going to come from something that you may not be doing. You may be doing it now, but you may not be doing it at the level that you could be doing to be able to support you financially, or just in general doing it more in your life. So for instance, it might be something that's a hobby for you. It may be something that you do in your pastime. It may be that the role it might be having to do with a career area that you're in, right? But your current job in that area is kind of not dealing directly with what it is that is your passion. Okay. But it talks about, the Ace of Wands talks about creative potential, taking initiative, opportunities, passion. Okay. So because we're talking about passions, I'm really feeling like for you all, for this pile, your passion is really like right at your fingertips. This is something that is happening right now. Like it's right in front of you. So if you're feeling like you're not clear about where it is, part of it, I think, is because you are in all likelihood going to have to leave something behind to be able to fully step into that. And the reason why I'm also saying that is because you've got the Six of Swords. Okay, and the Six of Swords talks about leaving a turbulent situation, she's kind of on these turbulent waters, right? And she's making her way. She's letting go of something. Remember that the swords represent thoughts, okay, and ideas. So it also could be, it may not be that you're actually physically leaving something, although that can certainly be the case for some of you. And his spirit is saying it is definitely the case for some of you that you need to physically leave a position. I'm even hearing some of you need to leave your actual like state, or if you're international, like your town, and go to a different town to be able to fully step into the work that you want to do. Spirit is telling me that some of you are actually doing the work that you want to do, but you need to do it in a different location. And when you move it and take it to a different location, it is going to ignite your passion again. Like, there's something about the individuals that you're working with now that you need to shift. You need to shift, or it could be the actual, the foundation or company or hospital. If some of you are in the medical field, this is what is just coming to mind. Okay. So, but what I want to say about this card of the Six of Swords, is that this represents divine help coming in and taking you to safe shores, right? Leading you in, leaving the place that you were and leading you in. So that lets me know that. And then you've got this sort of Ace of Wands, this beginning of creative potential. It's like you need to let go of like I said, that I got from Spirit, is some of you are actually leaving a physical location, but some of you, it's just your thoughts. There's like, you need to shift your thinking around something. You need to change your perspective around what you think is possible for you. Spirit is saying you need to think about what you need to broaden your horizons around what is possible for you so that you can find your passion. Because the reason why you're stuck, the reason why you're not finding your passion is not that you don't have the passion. It's not even that you know that your passion is there. It's just that you so deeply believe, you don't even realize, this is what is coming to me, y'all. I'm sorry. So take what resonates, but some of you all don't even realize that you have a belief that's so embedded in you that what you believe is your passion is not something that you could actually do on a regular basis, that you don't even consider it. So therefore you think, oh, I don't have a passion. Well, actually you do have a passion. It's like if someone like loved knitting, right? They loved knitting. That's really, if they could knit 24 hours a day, they would knit 24 hours a day. But they have a core belief that there is no way that they could make the money that they need through knitting. So they don't even consider weaving, if you will, or knitting into their reality of terms of how they actually spend their waking hours, right? That they can actually do it. They have limited their belief in what they can do with that particular desire or passion of theirs. Okay. So some of you need to take your constraints off of yourself so that you can really step into that. Because what's beautiful here is that you've got the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. So it's really telling me, it kind of takes me right on back here to the magical shapeshifter, where the compass is the heart. In order for you to find your passion, you're going to have to allow your heart to tell you what direction you go. You're going to have to take a leap of faith in doing that. The good news is that in all likelihood, you can have a partner in crime in doing that. You need to keep your eye open for those individuals who are coming in that share a similar desire and passion, and how you can put your energies together to create something abundantly prosperous, okay, and emotionally fulfilling, okay? Because the Ten of Cups is like family. It's a wish fulfilled on all levels, okay? It does talk deeply about emotional fulfillment, though. So really think about, like, if some of you are in a career right now where it's like emotionally draining and it's not emotionally fulfilling, but maybe you do something on the side or you do something on the weekend that just makes your heart sing. I really want to encourage you to look at what that is, what that thing is that makes your heart sing. Begin to talk about it more, begin to connect with other people, and see if there's other people around you that it makes their heart sing too, and see what you can come together to create, because that might be your path. And for those of you who are going a traditional path, understand that the Lover's card, which is falling right here in the middle, is really talking about a career that's going to be connecting you with other individuals. So as I said earlier, like, sort of public relations or marketing, anything in which you're connecting with other customer service. And there's multiple areas of careers and fields in which you can go, in which you're connecting with other people on a regular basis. But that is what I'm seeing in terms of what your passion is. And now I'm going to look at what it is that you need to know or do to be able to move yourself even closer to that passion. And we pulled first a chakra card to see if there's something there that you can pay attention to. Passion. Here we go. Passion. Turn your fear of change into excitement for change. I love that. So, and this is talking about your sacral chakra. So any of you all who work with chakras, that's going to be an area that you can meditate on, do yoga in, work with. And while you're working with your sacral chakra, you can begin to ask that question, what is my passion? What is my passion? And allow spirit to guide you gently into what that is. It might not be gently though. Some of you may find all of a sudden, oh, I know exactly what it is. And then you're on fire. Right? And then your sacral chakra is going to help to lead you in that direction. So that is really, really beautiful. So but that's a remedy, if you will. That's a tool that you have to tap into your sacral chakra. And then this other oracle card. Wow. What's your honest truth? What is your honest truth? Again, this is taking me back to your heart space, but in a more precise way. This card is talking about what is authentically true for you. What are you not allowing yourself to see that is true for you? What is it that you know is true for you, but you're like, you have fear around it, right? Turn your fear of change into excitement for change. Okay, it's time for you to strip away your preconceived notions and allow yourself to see the truth of who you are. And I promise you, your passion will come bubbling forth, pile one. That is what I'm seeing here in this reading. Now, in terms of what other kinds of tools and what you need to know, wow, you've got the world. I'm making sure that you're seeing these cards. You've got the world card. Okay, and you've got the page of motions in reverse. All right, so the other thing, so we're still talking about, we've kind of looked at what your passion is. So in terms of like being and what you need to do to be able to move closer to your passion, the world card, one, it talks about a completion, right? A successful completion of something. So again, we've got this idea of letting something go to bring in something fuller. The other thing about the world card is it's really saying for you to kind of broaden your horizons, as I was saying, open up what might be possible for you. Understand that we live in a giant world, you all, and the way that you can bring abundance to you and the way that you can be in a place where you're living your passion on a daily basis, the opportunities are endless. Okay. And so this world card really says to me, it says the world cosmos. It's like saying, Pile one, the world is open to you. What you need to do is step into your authentic self. Make sure you're being truly honest with yourself and know that there's so much that you can explore from the world perspective. Now, the other thing is some of you may be in retirement. Okay. And that's because it's a completion there. So it's talking about a successful completion. The other thing about the world card is it can also talk about a sort of higher learning. Okay. So in terms of, we've already talked about working with other people and being in connection with other people. Some of those roles, it might be teaching jobs in a higher learning or in higher education or within government. Okay. When we talk about the world card, it could also be in government. It could also be dealing with land resources, right? Or world resources. It could be dealing in an environmental field. There might be something about the environment that really sets your heart on fire, sets your heart ablaze, that you can get in partnership working with other people to be able to move that work forward. Okay. And that's what the world card is telling me here in terms of what you need to do. It's about tapping into the world, right? And also because of who we are and the kind of the energy that I'm getting from this, there's also an opportunity for you to tap into the World Wide Web, right? So to connect into technology and look at the broader scope of things, how, our world has changed so much, and particularly in the past couple of years, so much has gone virtual. It may be that your passion can now be further explored to bring you more abundance virtually, whereas maybe that door wasn't necessarily open to you in the past. So really thinking about this, the Spirit is telling me it's time for you to take off whatever hat you have on and put on, as you used to say, your thinking cap, or put on a hat that allows you to broaden what you're thinking about and what you believe to be possible. Because only what you believe to be possible will you be able to bring into you. The first stop on your trip, pile number 1, is your heart. What is your heart telling you? Where is your heart leading you in terms of your passion? And look at the things that make your heart flutter, whether or not it's something that you're doing as a job right now or not. What is it that gets you excited, gets you juiced, that you feel like you could talk about it all day and all night? Okay. Now you've got the page of emotions here, which is in this deck is representing like the Page of Cups in the what am I trying to say? The typical tarot, or the classic tarot. Okay, but you've got it reversed. All right, so this talks about, and the Page of Cups is like the dreamer, right? The dreamer, the romantic, the really looks at the new, unexpected, is excited, has a sensitivity, okay? That's what the Page of Cups represents. But in reverse, okay, because you have it in reverse, you get to the shadow side of it a bit, and it talks about missing signs, being overly sensitive, and a blocked sense of creativity. So that lets me know that there's something that you all are dealing right now that's blocking your ability to get to your heart space. And so the guidance here is really for you to be able to kind of tap into your sacral chakra, tap into those things that set you on fire, and allow yourself to go into, turn this card upright, okay, would be the advice that I would say. Allow yourself to dream, okay? Allow yourself to dream, because you will be able to manifest. Let me just see. I forgot we had 2 other cards here. So let's see what we've got here. So we've got, yeah. Okay. So you've got the 8 of, wow. Okay. So you've got the 8 of Wands and the Hermit card. Okay, I'm just going to move these over a little bit. Okay. All right. So yeah. So just as I was saying there with the Page of Emotions, allowing yourself to dream, allow yourself to step into your heart space. Okay. And then follow the white rabbit. Okay, follow the white rabbit with action. The 8 of Wands is a very fast moving energy, and it's fire energy, and it's about taking action. It's about moving forward. So when you determine what your passion is, what I want you to do is you don't have to do it all at once. Okay. But you do need to take immediate, fast action. So determine what it is. It's the first step on your road toward your passion. Anything, just pick something and go for it. Okay. That's what I'm really feeling here, is that to take immediate action. Take that action, and then you're going to take some time to reflect. Okay. So you're going to take immediate action on something. Move yourself forward with your passion, in the direction of your passion. And then we've got this Hermit card here. Okay. This Hermit card has its own light. It's being led by its own light. All right. The Hermit card talks about going internally and reflecting, because the Hermit knows that all of its answers lies within. So the answer to your question about what is your passion, or what do I need to do, lies within. All right. It lies within. The other thing is I'm paying attention to all of the major arcana that are coming here in terms of ideas around what an actual career or passion is. If you're feeling like I just really don't know, Ade, what I am excited about. So the Hermit card, some of you out there might be passionate about writing. Okay. Some of you may be passionate about doing something that you do in sort of a solitary function. Okay. Now we've gotten over here, and I want to be clear that I'm not disregarding that this Lover's card over here is definitely talking about connecting with others, okay? But it may be some aspect of the work in that you're needing to do that on your own, and then maybe you come together with others, all right? That's what I'm getting from this card here. And the sense that there's an idea that you need to take action. It almost feels a little bit contradictory because the Hermit card is saying pause, go within, breathe, be your own light, right? And then I'm saying take action, right? But because this is coming right here, my sense is that there's a need for you to shake yourself up a bit. And that's why you need to take immediate action, right? Take some immediate action, but then allow yourself to pause and reflect. You will get the energy and the fire that you need to sustain you and light your way when you go into your introspection in the Hermit phase by taking action, okay? So tap into your heart, follow the right rabbit, check into the world, see what resources are out there, broaden your horizons, do some research, look out into the world, be honest with what you authentically want. What do you authentically want? Okay. Take off your blinders on this path of, oh, I needed to go this way because this is what my life needs to look like. Turn off the robot and put on the authentic you to help to get clear about what it is that you're passionate about, because Spirit really wants you to be there. It is going to lead you to the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is a pure emotional fulfillment. And that's where we want to go, right? So now I'm going to look just into the guidance from Spirit, okay? And we've got Jasmine. Okay, excellent. We've got the Standing Stones or Passage. And then we've got the initial card, which is 21, the slave dances into freedom. Hallelujah for that. Okay, so let's talk about what this is. So the jasmine flower really talks about the sensual side of things, okay? And when I talk about sensual, I'm talking about that which ignites the senses. Okay. It's also joy, abundance, attractiveness. It can also be sexual healing in some ways, relaxation. But in regards to thinking about what you're passionate about, this card tells me, and when you look into your honest, authentic self, what is it that stimulates your senses, right? So some of you, when I think about this card, it kind of takes me back to like ideas of roles within like aromatherapy or massage therapy, or in the medical field where you're dealing with something that supports the senses of some kind, okay? And supports sight, a field in which is very visually stimulating, a visual artist of some kind, okay? She's definitely like, deep into the smell of jasmine, right? So this scent of like, some of you working with flowers even might be something, but this is a flower deck, so that would end up being the case for everybody. So I just want to like tap into what that energy is, but it really talks about sensual pleasure, okay? Sensual pleasure. So thinking about that when you're thinking about the message from Spirit, okay? Spirit is also saying, wow, okay, thank you, Spirit. Spirit is also saying that by you also, in order to find your passion, you need to tap into the things that bring you sensual pleasure, because it will open up your energy so that you can understand what it is that you're passionate about. Like I just got a clear image of some of you all doing things that were sensually stimulating, whether it was listening to music, whether it was sitting in a room where there was like a lot of flowers, a lot of scents, really strong scents, whether that be essence of the scents. I saw some of you getting a massage or being, sort of being in that space of touch or movement or yoga. I even got the image of like that hot yoga, which I've actually never done, but I guess where it's really hot in there, because that is a space in which it's going to allow you to drop into your body space, which will open up your mind and your imagination about what it is that you're passionate about. It's another key. It's another way for you to unlock what it is that feels unclear. When you go into that space, if you're doing like hot yoga or you're doing something where you're doing a meditation of some kind, ask Spirit to show you what is your passion. Ask very clearly and it will be revealed to you. But that is a key for you to tap into your sensual, tap into your senses, okay? Tap into your senses. Now, this Standing Stones passage, that is just such a beautiful card. It's really showing me, beautiful Power One, that you are on the road, okay? And I love that she's in this red fiery dress, right? And we're talking about this sense of passion, right? It says, a sacred journey is ahead. Deeper meaning is waiting to be discovered. You are safe, okay? Some of you, I just heard very clearly, some of you are doing some deep, intuitive, spiritual work. And Spirit is saying you are safe to do that work. And as you do that work, you are going to deepen your understanding of your world and who you are. And as a result of that, there are going to be other passions that you didn't realize that you had that emerge. All right. So that is actually, thank you, Spirit, confirmation for me for what I was getting over here on the senses, tapping into the senses in terms of doing the meditative work, doing some work where you're actually tapping into your body a bit more. There's some deep spiritual work and some openings that you'll be able to step into that's going to give you stronger guidance from your spirit guides in terms of the direction you need to move in terms of your passion. Okay, so that is, wow, that's really very, very beautiful. Some of you are going to be ascending to kind of a new level of understanding in terms of what you thought. You might have thought you were passionate about, for instance, some of you may have thought you were passionate about nursing, right? And you may still be passionate about nursing, but as you're doing that work, all of a sudden you're going to find that there's other areas of healing that you want to dig into, that your passion is going to deepen, right? That's what I'm hearing from some of you. Already have a sense of what your passion is, but there is a deeper level that you can go to with regards to your passion. Now, this card is coming from the Quan Yin deck. And so I'm going to share with some of this. It says, you have been on a path that no longer serves your highest good. The time has come for you to be free from it. I shall free you from the negative influence of even the most persistent struggle or devastating conditions with one simple gesture. Do not be attached to the war you have endured. Wild warrior, it is over by my grace. A new reality of freedom is yours. It's time to dance your way into freedom. All right? It's like, this is so beautiful. It talks about that the divine loves your fighting spirit, but that you're protected from a battle that has been too long going. So some of you, this kind of echoes back on this Six of Swords energy, right? That, Spirit is saying, we've got you, we understand. Oh, I also did. I'm about to close out the winning, but I just was remembering that had come to me earlier, and I didn't say it because I got distracted by another thought. But that in this Ace of Wands, the other thing that I got, it's a new beginning, and it can also be a bit of an apprenticeship. And because she's holding this book, what I had heard earlier from Spirit is that some of you, in order to move further along toward your passion, you're going to need to do some level of study. Okay. Now, that study doesn't necessarily have to be going back to formal school, right? It literally can be the work that you need to do, exploring the world, exploring the World Wide Web and pulling, but when you find your passion, like really wanting to learn more about it, finding mentors, finding people that want to talk about it, finding books, finding audiobooks, finding films, finding things that you can do to gather more information. You're going to have a bit of a ravenous hunger to be able to learn more about it, and allow yourself to do that. If you start to feel like there's something you really want to learn more about it, dig into it, beautiful Power One, because that is another another clue. It is driving you closer to where you need to be for your passion. But what I see overall here, you all, is a beautiful, beautiful covering of spirit on you. And the guidance that you have here is to tap into your authentic self, tap into your heart, tap into your senses to help guide you to your passion. Look for the people that are coming into your life, right? Where can there be partnership? To face your fear and allow your fear of change to propel you into change, because change is going to be where you're going to find and be able to move forward with your passion. All right. I hope this is helpful for you all. And thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade. If you like the readings that you're getting here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit a like for me. Drop a comment if you want to share anything. I would love to hear it. And I hope you have a joyful, abundant day. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade. And if you chose the Tiger's Eye and this card here, this is going to be your reading. And we're digging into exploring what is your passion. What are you passionate about? And then we're going to dig into what do you need to know or do that's going to help you move closer on the journey towards your passion, within your passion, and then follow that with a couple of cards with guidance from from the divine, from your spirit guides. Okay, so that's what we're digging into today. I want to remind you that this is the general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest, if you will. And also just to be mindful that our journey toward discovering our true purpose and our passion in this life is a many splendored thing. And so there are multiple ways to that we get information to really land us in that. On top of that, our passions can change over time. They may shift a bit. They might still be within the same realm, but they may shift a bit. And so just being conscious of that and having a sense of openness to what may be possible for you. So that being said, if you're liking the readings that you're getting on the Abundant Joy Tarot, I'd ask that you please just click that subscribe button and maybe hit a like. I appreciate it. So we can continue to grow the company, grow the channel. It's not a company. Grow the channel and give me the opportunity to reach as many souls as possible. So let's jump in. So your first oracle card, unexpected visitors. Now this is really interesting because in pile number 1, this little rabbit here reminds me of that whole follow the white rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. Plus she's like a little bit, it looks like she's like a little bigger than maybe she should be for this particular space. And then we've got this little frog here sitting on this little toadstone, which makes me believe like if he just got a little kiss, he might pop into a prince. And there's this whole sense of like the unexpected visitors. Expect the unexpected. I'm getting the sense here from this card that, actually Spirit is saying to me that this pile, all you beautiful souls who chose pile number 2, you might be the type of individuals who like to have things on schedule. You like to have things on schedule. You like to have things, you don't like surprises. Surprises are not something that you prefer. You would prefer to really maybe have things kind of organized and be clear what direction, what's coming first, second, and third, and all of that. And Spirit is saying that your journey towards your passion is going to challenge that. Okay. So if you're an individual who likes to have a clear schedule, likes things to be, in like one direction and have everything sort of black and white, if you will, Spirit is saying, be prepared to be rocked off your boat a bit, because this unexpected visitor is really talking about this idea, if you will, of, when you follow the white rabbit, as they say, you uncover extraordinary, interesting, beautiful things that can lead you to your passion, right? But it may be a little bit unsettling for those who prefer more structured path toward your passions, right? This card is saying if you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles. So it's like Spirit is saying very clearly, pile number 2, that your passion is going to come to you in an unexpected way, or your passion just may seem unexpected for you. Others may also find it like when you find your passion, they might be like, really? You like doing that? Like it may seem a little bit out of what you have shown as being your character. Wow. And Spirit is telling me that is because what you have shown to be your character is what's the word? It's not, I don't want to say a tool. It's a shield. It's a protection for you to be able to manage wow, I'm so sorry, Paul, too, but this is what I'm hearing. Okay. That what you're showing to others is a protective shield for you to be able to manage in an environment that really wasn't serving you or even being kind to you, and I would even go as far as was or is hurtful to you. And so there's a certain way in which you carry yourself, which is outside of what is authentically yourself, so that you can just simply manage. All right. That's a very challenging energy to feel. And I feel, well, it is what it is. I mean, that's what you've had to do to manage. And you know what? You are a very powerful, strong individual to be able to do what you needed to do to get you to navigate to where you are. And Spirit is just saying that there may be part of your being able to find your passion and really fully live in your passion. You may have some resistance to it because it may force you to, it may rattle your boat a bit, bring some unexpected surprises for you that are unnerving at first, but it's actually driving you to that which you most desire, where you can actually take down your shield and be fully who you are. Okay. So it's, actually this card actually says, wow, no matter how detailed your plans are and how clear you believe the road ahead to be, there are times when the best plans are waylaid by unforeseen circumstances. At first, detours may seem inconvenient, but a surprise turn of events signals that the adventure of a life is beginning to get interesting. Okay, no one can plan for synchronicities. All right, so fate comes in and puts us where we need to be. All right, so just don't allow yourself to get too stuck in the mud in terms of when Spirit starts shifting things for you. Okay, because Pile 2, I have a feeling if it isn't already occurring for you, and that's why you're actually listening to this message, it's going to be occurring. So let's look at your charm here. Okay, Cactus. Wow, this is confirmation actually of what I was just thinking, what I was feeling from this pile. It says, you have been unapproachable lately. Soften up and relax your defensiveness. But I want, Spirit is really telling me like there's no judgment here, because it's very clear that your defensiveness is a result of what you believe is a way to protect yourself in some way. Yeah, it says you are genuinely resilient and have endured a lot of life's challenges. So be so proud of yourself, okay? And it's okay to trust others. We are here for human connection. That's why we're on this plane right now at this time. Love and growth. Okay, we are here for connection. It's interesting. I'm going to read your covering card at the end because it's part of the guidance from Spirit. But I can just say that is resonant with that, because this card is really about community. And we'll dig into that. But connecting with others, that's a way that is going to be one of your advices, is that connecting with others is important. I can feel it. I can feel some of you are like, I'm good. I don't really want to connect that deeply with others, but I could literally feel that. Some of you actually said that. But Spirit is saying like they are here with you, and that actually you are safe. You are safe to do that. You just need to trust. You just need to, you can keep trusting on yourself, Spirit says, because I know that I know that you've had to lean on yourself a lot. And so you can trust on yourself. And before you start fully trusting other people, you may need to lean into spirit, but you need to lean into your guides and your guardians and a higher being or higher source. You need to allow them to help you to soften. Okay. If you don't feel like you're ready to soften with other human beings, right? And some of you, I feel like, have already been doing this work, so you are already aware. So what I'm saying, you're knowing, you're sort of like, yeah, I know, like I'm a little rough around the edges, right? But that's okay. Like it's fine because there's reason why you have a little bit of a cactus skin, okay? But Spirit is saying that is coming to that time when you can. So for you to be able to sink fully into your true authentic passion is going to need to smooth that a little bit, okay? A little bit, at least to begin. Now let's look here and see what your tarot is saying about your passion, and we'll see. Wow. Okay. You've got the Knight of Wands. Ooh. And the Magician. Yep, 100%. So, yeah, that one. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get the other because I will start running my mouth. Let's see. Okay, and the King of Cups. And the Five of Wands. This is all about competition, connecting with others. This is what's going to get you to your fire, okay? But let's talk about this. So the Knight of Wands, I love that card for you because I was just talking about how, this card is saying you're so resilient. This is also like the Knight of Wands is a creative force, a creative energy, almost fearless, right? I mean, look, she's like jumping through a ring of fire. It's like letting me know that you are a risk taker. You're one who will really go out there and take the risk, and that's part of the reason why you've got a little bit of a cactus outer side is so that you can some of that cactus can burn off by the fire and you're still going to be cool as a cucumber, right? Because you have it's a part of your soul, it's a part of your spirit that you have a sense of adventure, that you're willing to take some risks, even though you also have this is really interesting because this is what Spirit is saying is that your outer, if how you're showing up is very buttoned down, I need following a schedule. It's we need to do A, B, and C. That is your shield that is covering this internal spirit of you that is literally on fire, wanting to adventure, wanting to jump out there and take some risks and do some things. And Spirit is saying that in order to find your passion, you're going to have to allow that to occur. You're going to have to allow that spirit that's inside of you, which is just literally who you are, like your authentic self. When you really look honestly at who you are, what you would like to do. One of the things that you can do, beautiful spirits who chose pile number 2, one of the things you can do is to allow yourself to think back on yourself when you were a child. How were you on the playground? How were you in the school environment? Just as far as young as you can possibly remember. Some of you, I know, what our Spirit is telling me is that some of you, because of the circumstances of your growing up, you have to go really, really far back to be able to get to what I'm trying to get at, because you were kind of forced to be older than you needed to be sooner than you probably should have, right? So you didn't get that full playful childhood. Some of you, that's just a percentage of you, okay? That Spirit is telling me. Okay. Okay, but what you want to do is to go. Sorry, I'm feeling that hit me. That some of you had a really difficult time when you were younger, but not all of you, but some of you. But I'm sorry, I got distracted by that sensation or that feeling. But what I want to say is that you want to go back to that time, the youngest time that you can go to, where you had a sense of innocence, and try to remember what was your innate behavior. How did you show up in groups? Were you like the one who like wanted to start things? Like the energy that I'm getting is that you maybe were the one that was like a bit of a leader in the pack, like a little of a leader, maybe even a little bit mischievous. Not you may. I'm sorry, it keeps coming up. I keep getting that image. So you may have been just a little bit mischievous, and maybe others said that made you even worse than you were, said you were evil in some way or bad in some way, but it was just that you were being mischievous, just like children do, and that's totally normal, okay? But that is maybe part of the reason why you button down, right? And so this was not meant to be like an inner child reading, but these images are just coming through. So anyway, what I want to say here is that this card is what Spirit is wanting you to get to, is to get back to this sense of play and adventure and risk taking, right? That it's okay, that you're safe to do that. You're safe to do that is what I want to say. The other thing is the Magician. So you've got the Magician card, which I love that this card is here, because the Magician card is all about creation, manifesting, having the power within your own hands to create. I mean, she's literally got the wand in her hand here, and it's the Magician. So when we talk about different types of careers, the Magician card represents like communicate every aspect of communication. It's really just about, and not only, I would say the Magician card is really about communication and creation. So anything that has to do with communication, creation, well, I mean, that's a huge amount of fields, but just like some examples, gosh, there's so many. Anything that has to do with communication, or creating something, like I'm thinking like an engineer, also like an engineer, like a scientist, also like an actual creator of some kind. Someone who is doing something virtually, using the web of some kind, or using technology of some kind that opens up ways for communication for people. It also can be just your everyday actual human communication. It could be in public relations. You could be in sales of some kind. You could be anything. It really, there's so many different possibilities, but I just want to kind of give you as many that I can kind of think of, so that if you're really kind of searching for what your passion is, to kind of think about, okay, all right, anything that has to do with communication and creation. The Magician is telling you that you can create. Some of you actually, what I'm hearing is that because you've got this entrepreneurial spirit, right? And this risk-taking ability within you, and the Magician card together, this is really telling me that some of you, a lot of your abundance is going to actually come from something that you create. Like, you create the idea. It's something that maybe the world hasn't seen, or we haven't seen yet, and you're doing it. Or you're taking a spin off of something like a current career that you're on and doing something innovative with it, taking a risk with it, and creating something completely new out of that, right? That is beautiful. And also, like, in connection with the unexpected visitors, that there may be some sort of odd characters, if you will, that really support you along your journey to creating whatever this newness is, doing whatever innovation there is. There may be some unexpected collaborations or affinities with other people, because it's really saying that it's okay to trust others and work with others in some way. So there's a sense of collaboration here as well, but I think it's going to be collaboration with regard to an innovation of some kind. Two of these things are not like the other ways, but like that there's ways in which things that maybe are not seemingly together, that you're going to be able to bring together and create something new that is really powerful. That's incredible, pile number 2. That's a really beautiful energy and a really powerful, needed creativity, kind of that we need. And so we need you to get in there, work work off the cactus prickles so that you can do the work that you are destined here to do. Now, the other thing here is that you've got the King of Cups. You've got the King of Cups and the Five of Wands. Now, the King of Cups, this is a really beautiful energy because the King of Cups is balanced emotionally, right? Also, he has a strong sense of emotional intelligence. I think that's part of what the Spirit is saying. That's part of the reason why they're saying that you're safe, because within you, you actually have the ability to navigate within environments so that you can clearly trust yourself in regards to identifying who you can trust and who you cannot trust. You can actually trust yourself. Some of you don't feel that you can because of past experiences or past being hurt in relationship to other people. But Spirit is saying that actually you have ascended to another level of emotional intelligence. You have a bit more balance within your emotional space that is going to allow you to be able to find and pick the right people to move with, so that your Five of Wands energy can shift from conflict, because fives can often indicate conflict, but here it's more about friendly competition. Okay, because if you look here, there's like collaboration that's happening. And I really see that this is you, that you are getting to your fire, getting to your passion by being stirred on by others. While others are working together, it forces you and it helps you to strive to be your best. Okay. So there is something about collaboration. So I really feel like the biggest message here that I'm hearing from you all is that you can take down some of your prickly covering so that you can interact with others, because you've got the entrepreneurial spirit and the ability to manifest just about anything that you want to. And particularly within the fields of creating something new, something fresh, something innovative, and through communication, all types of communication. I'm definitely hearing a lot of technology type communication. I'm seeing two images. One is like of the type of different kinds of technology communication, and I'm really seeing some more innovative spaces, like maybe some of the spaces that we're seeing in like the Lord, I don't even exactly know how to say it because I haven't been on yet, but like the Megaverse or something, or it's like some of those other spaces, but leveraging them for communication, like those 3D spaces and things like that. Y'all excuse me if I sound old, but I'm just really talking about they're showing me like this more advanced technology, okay, that you all that might be really where your passion lies, and it's kind of this more advanced technology. The other image though that I'm seeing is kind of like a speaker. Like some of you all might be like, I don't know if it's motivational speakers or just like I'm just seeing a speaker in a big auditorium, right? And being able to reach out to multiple people by the power of your tongue, okay? Really, really powerful images here. So that hopefully gives you kind of some sense of where I'm getting sort of your passion lies, this sort of entrepreneurial spirit, unlikely alliances, creating out of nothing, right? Using your emotional intelligence in the way that you're communicating with others and allowing others to push you forward with this sort of sense of friendly competition. Now we're going to dig into now what you need to know or do that's going to help push you along this path towards your passion, right? And so we did pull the chakra cards, and you've got the heart chakra. Forgiveness, y'all. You'll find freedom in forgiveness. Whew. Okay, yeah. And Spirit is really showing me that this is really important for you because, as I said earlier, part of your shield which is a blessing and a curse, because on one level it is protecting you, it's keeping you clear that sort of rigid way of kind of walking, or a more precise way of needing to walk, or scheduled way of needing to walk. That has been protecting you, but it's, when I say it can be a blessing and a curse, because it also can shield you from the danger, but it can also shield you from yourself, right? And this is talking about your heart chakra. It's talking about really tapping into that heart, authentic self, that space, that fresh space that you can find when you go back to that youngest innocence of what you actually desired, okay? And that you're going to, whatever energies, whatever people, whatever places, whatever things have caused you to put that shield up, Spirit is asking you to do the work, to do the forgiveness. Forgive so that you can be free, okay? And your other oracle, wow, okay. Sacred mirrors. And so immediately I'm going to read from this here in a minute. But when I see sacred mirrors, what I immediately thought of is like the people in our lives, and take this, take it for what it is. I don't want this to be triggering, but sometimes the people that cause us pain or hurt us are showing us a mirror of things that we need to look at in ourselves. They make it more clear for us, even if it's, okay, maybe it's not something inside of ourselves, but what they do is they provide clarity to what it is that we don't want. So then when you know clearly what you don't want, then you can more precisely determine what it is that you do want. All right. And that is priceless. Okay. So I'm not saying that people hurting you is a good thing or all that. I'm saying forgive whatever has occurred so that you can free yourself and understand that they showed a mirror to you so that you can more clearly define, go more swiftly and precisely, let your arrow go straight toward your destiny and your passion, okay? That's what this card is telling me. And it's really an action here, you all, in terms of what you need to do and know. You need to know that forgiveness is one of your keys. And what you need to do is begin to forgive some of those old hurts so that you can get to the next level. Understand that they are a mirror. Let's look at the tarot. That's going to be what you need to know, wow, or do to move you closer to your passion. Wonderful. Okay. The Queen of Pentacles or Queen of Materials here. The Knight of Emotions. The King of Wands. And the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So, okay. So your queen, this queen. Okay. Come on, queen. First of all, look at her. She's down here. This is the actual queen, right? And she is the story of this card is that she is at her installation on, I think she's talking about self-love or doing self-love. But the Queen of Pentacles is a very mothering, nurturing energy. She is abundant, okay? She is balanced, She is giving. She is so abundant that she just freely gives. She also speaks of sort of self-love and knowing. But look how she is fully in her power, you all. There is a lot of, even though the Queen of Materials is an earth energy, right? She's very grounded. But to me, there's also like a lot of fire here too. Like, even though she's not the Queen of Wands, she is the Queen of Materials. So it is an earth energy. But it just reminds me of this energy of entrepreneurism, this risk taking, this going in, And also, this is what I'm hearing too, is that because, we talked about you kind of having this shield and yet you've got this inner fire going in. The Queen of Materials actually blends all of those pieces together. Nothing that you have done or who you are is wasted. What you have developed as a shield is something that you can use. And if you incorporate that with the fire, the true passion that is inside of you, wow, that is a powerhouse. That is the Queen of Pentacles, okay? And she is going to be not only abundant, but solidly abundant, right? Because she's grounded. She is solidly abundant. Now, you've got this Knight of emotions coming in. And the Knight of Emotions is like, what's the phrase that I want? It can talk about like a love coming in, but in the context of this reading, it's about, what's it? The what is it? The thrill of the chase, right? The thrill of the chase. It's representing this idea of like sort of this fast moving, like going after the thing that you want, right? That the thrill of the chase. So there's a sense of like stepping into your power and going after it. So once you get really clear about what your passion is, there's a lot of fire energy to go after it, because you've got the Queen of Materials, the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is also an abundant. I mean, he's king. And so queens and kings are going to be your more mature energy. They're going to be energy that you're going to be, they have done the work to get to where they need to be. But the King of Wands is a natural born leader. Okay. Creative, passionate. What's the word? Like, I don't want to say gentle, but kind of like a gentle judge in a sense, like a fair and diplomatic. I don't want to say judge, but king, a fair and diplomatic king, right? And so, this energy is telling me, because this whole line of cards that we're talking about is, what do you need to know and do to get to your space? And so it's like you need to embody this energy of incorporating all of your elements here, your fire element and your earth element and your water element. They're all right here, okay? So just really allowing yourself to come fully into yourself. Know your authentic self. Forgive who you need to forgive. And then the last piece of information that you need to know here is that you've got the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles talks about mastering your skill, putting in the work, being diligent. It also lets us know that, it's not going to necessarily come quickly, like the culmination of your passion. But when you find your passion to really, it's not about being fast per se. The chase to get there is, but once you get there, it's not about being fast. It's about doing the work diligently and uncovering what it is that you truly want to do, making sure that what you produce is stellar, right? It's been thought through. You've put the energy and the work into it. Okay. Wow. This is a really beautiful journey, a beautiful energy. Let's see what the advice or guidance from Spirit is. You've got Water Lily. Look at that. Wow. It's so wow. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just put the other. Okay. The Grace, the Wise Woman of the Grove. Okay, we're going to get to that. And then your other advice is going to be this card up here, which is the Holy Sisters. Okay, so immediately just what I want to say about this Water Lily card is like the water lily, just look at how beautiful, like just beautifully blossoms with all that light and sparkle and magic and glory and all its beauty. And it's emerging from the muck and the dirt and the gloom and the dark, right? And I feel like, my beautiful souls in Palo too, that has been part of your journey, that many of you have had some really, it came back earlier. It said, what did it say? You have had some challengings. Yes, you're generally resilient. You have endured a lot of life's challenges, but in that image that I kept getting, I kept getting these images that you all have, really, some of you have really had some suffering, in your life, but that this water lily energy, it talks about transmuting, which brings me back to forgiveness, right? It talks about taking that gunk, taking that pain, taking that sorrow, taking those challenges, those conflicts that put upon you at an early stage in your life, in your growth process, right? That maybe felt like they were meant to hold you down, keep you from your abundant blossoming, right? That you transmute that energy and allow that energy to become a source of fuel for you to step fully into your beauty, okay? Your abundant power, All right. This really talks about healing depression, heart healing. It says, Khalil Gibran wrote, the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Okay. And then, it's also true for other polarities, like within your life, It says the more you experience something you don't want, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. What something you don't want, the greater you understand what you do want. And consequently, the more empowered you are to manifest exactly the conditions that you desire. Okay, so similarly, our bittersweet enemy is often the one who teaches us the most valuable lessons. Our past traumas are the portals into our deepest wisdom, and our greatest weakness might actually be revealed to be our greatest strength in disguise. Okay, wow, that right there is exactly what it is for you all in this reading. This about transmuting what you look at as challenging, has been painful for you in some way, transmuting that into the beautiful blossom of your passion and your path forward, okay? As I said before, this Holy Sisters card is talking about community. It's talking about community, and I'm going to read for you the message from Spirit here because I think it's such a lovely, lovely message, okay? It says, I am bringing you the blessing of sacred connection and kindred spirits. You have the power to help others and worthy of being helped too. You are a keeper of the wisdom of the heart, and you understand that there is no need for competition or comparison. Reminding me of that friendly competition. There is more than enough for all to experience an abundance of blessings. You know that when true spiritual success comes for one, the resources available for all only increase. So enjoy the sacred connections that I am sending your way. Nourish and be nourished as you gather. That is beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, pile number 2. And then finally, you've got this grace card, which is really reminding me again of the forgiveness card, right? It's like step into your grace and allow grace to step fully into your path and into your being, all right? I love this journey for you. I know that you have the capability, you have the resilience. I feel like this pile, you all are going to be doing some great things. I would love to hear in the comment anything that, maybe you may be passionate about and what's kind of coming up for you. It may take some time for it to settle in for you because you do have this sort of slow moving process of the 8 of Pentacles, but it's really about mastery. So I just think it's a beautiful journey for you, and you are powerful, resilient, brilliant people, and just keep at it. Just keep doing it. And I hope this helps you to find directly where you want to go for your passion. I hope that you have an abundant and joyful day, and I will see you in your next reading. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and if you chose the Rose Quartz and this card, this is going to be your reading. And so just as a reminder of what we're doing, this is actually going to be, we'll read this at the end. Just a reminder of what we're doing is we are digging into exploring what is my passion. So what is it that is your passion? Sort of some tips and cues, if you will, around what might be your passion. Some of you already know what your passion is, and others, I'm trying to give you some idea of what the cards are saying, maybe a general area, but this is a general reading. So understand that, the process of finding your passion and knowing what that is a very personal journey, and is one in which you need some input, but a lot of it is also like output in terms of what is it that is pulling you, But hopefully this will be able to give some direction to you. We're going to look at some oracle cards, and then we're going to look at some tarot. So we're going to look at first line of the tarot is going to be what is my passion? And then the second is going to be, we'll dig into what do I need to know or do to further pursue my passion, get closer to my passion. And then finally, we'll end with a couple of cards from guidance from spirit, okay, or your higher self or your divine guides. So let's jump right in and see what you've got. I just want to remind you that if you're liking the content that you're getting here, please go down there and hit that subscribe button for me so we can continue to grow this community, and hit a like. And if you have a comment, drop those in. I'm always happy to hear from you, and also would love to hear what brings you joy, since this is the Abundant Joy Tarot. Okay, so that being said, let's get started. What is Pile 3's passion? So let's see. The first card that you have, ooh, beautiful. Okay, so you've got listening. 5-3 is the card number, which adds up to 8. Oh, that's beautiful. So, the first thing that comes to mind, obviously with all of these musical notes and the music, like there's this sense of like that some of you may really, really enjoy music in various forms. You may be singers, you may be musicians, you may just be like, what are they called? DJs, or like people who work with music, like musical engineers or things like that. This might be a passion of yours if you're not doing, but if you really enjoy sound, you could also be, you could be intrigued by the sounds of nature, right? And maybe want to do some things within the sounds of nature. The other thing about this card, because this is the listening card, and so it talks about this principle of listening, and it talks about how critical it is to be able to slow down and hear the people around you so that you can be heard. And many of you may feel like you're not often heard, or you may feel like your voice has not, like you've been silenced in some type of way, okay? And part of what this card speaks to is that it's important to be able to listen so that you can be heard, okay? It says an open heart will hear the message. And so the other part about that is I am getting the sense that your guides, the higher beings that are working with you, have actually been nudging you in the direction of your passion. They've been showing you different things. You may have been seeing different signs or synchronicities. And what they're asking you to do is to listen, right? To listen. And sometimes, we listen with our ears, but I'm hearing you also need to listen with your heart, and you need to listen with your eyes. So whatever that means to you all, because that's just what I heard. Like, you need to listen with your heart, you need to listen with your eyes and your ears. And so in that way, you will become closer to understanding what it is that is going to be your fulfilling passion. And it's going to be important for you to hear that, because your passion is not only going to satisfy your soul, but it's going to satisfy many, is what I'm hearing. That's really, really beautiful. This card also talks about paying attention not only to what is being spoken, but also to what is not being said at a given moment. For the deeper message is not always obvious. Listen, here it is. Listen with your heart, not just your ears, and you'll find clarity. But I also heard listen with your eyes. So I heard listen with your heart, listen with your eyes. This card is a fortunate sign, and it ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances. So there's sort of a whole body listening. Okay, Spirit. Thank you for clarifying. So when I said listen with your eye, it's actually, they're saying listen with your third eye. Okay. So listen with your third eye. It's listen with your heart, listen with your ears, and listen with your third eye. So that lets me know that some of you who are listening to this pile 3 are very intuitive people, very intuitive souls, and you have an understanding of your third eye. If you feel like you don't, they're telling you that you do, and that you can just tap in. I'm just getting clarity. Okay, you can just tap in to connecting with your third eye by simply having the intention of listening with your third eye. So just literally practice doing that by just simply saying, okay, I'm going to experience this situation. I'm going to experience this evening. I'm going to listen with my third eye, or I'm going to listen with my third eye in this meeting, or I'm going to, just try it in smaller doses. Those of you who are not connecting with what I'm saying immediately, this is just what I'm being guided to say, that just practice it by actually setting the intention in your mind, or even saying it out loud, that I'm going to listen with my third eye, and then begin to notice what the sensations are and what it is that you're seeing or hearing around you at that time. Okay, that being said, that's interesting. Okay, so the other cards that you have is your charm card. Okay, so you've got, it's time to lay low, take a step back, and evaluate any meaning to a particular situation. Take time for more inner child play and healing. Protects your energy more in social settings. Cleanse when you return home. So yeah, I'm getting, again, this is just kind of another confirmation that the people that are listening to this pile 3, have a bit of stronger intuition, empathic type energy that you're bringing to the table. And so they're just asking you to, as you're going through this process of continuing to open and listen at different levels, make sure that when you're in larger social situations, when you come back, that you can kind of close everything down, if you will, and clean. There's multiple ways to clean yourself. You can clean yourself with just simply water. You can pray over water, and that becomes holy water, and then you can use that to clean yourself. Then there's the various other things like Florida water or other things. You can also just clean yourself with natural things, like something in nature, like, flowers or leaves or anything like that. As long as you have the intention and you pray over it, you can use it to clean the energy around you and off of you. Okay, so I'm going to look at your, going back to the question of what is your passion. So one thing that we're getting a clue on is that may have to do with listening, having to do with music. And it may also have to do with, when I think about listening, what are those careers, activities, and things that involve listening? So it may be like a counselor. It could be like a, what is that? Like a guide is what I'm hearing, like a spiritual guide. Yeah, so let's continue to see. So you've got, okay, interesting. So you've got the 5 of Pentacles. That's a beautiful card. And the 2 of Swords. All right, let's see your other tarot here. The Chariot. Love it when the Chariot comes up. And the Wheel. Okay, really great, strong cards. Okay, so the 5 of Pentacles. So first of all, okay, there's a meaning for the 5 of Pentacles, but I'll tell you what I saw when I first put this card down. So what I saw here in terms of thinking of the question of what is my passion, what I saw and heard was, and perhaps it's just because of the flower, but I just heard the beauty grows from your feet, okay? Or the bottom up, right? So it's like your passion will be found from the bottom up, which means that Your passion is not coming from your head. Your passion is coming from inside of your, like within your body, right? Like if it's coming from your feet, if it's coming from your body, it's not coming from working your head or working your thoughts, you know? It's more of an organic thing that is coming through for you, okay? Beauty comes from my feet, right? My passion comes from my feet. That is what I am hearing here. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. So she's rooted. It's inverse, right? Like she's not rooted at her feet. She's blossoming at her feet. She's rooted from her head. hmm So, wow. The five. Okay. So the actual meaning of the five. Okay, sorry. There's lots of there's lots of stuff going on up here in terms of like okay, so there's the five windows up here and there's opportunity for her to receive guidance because all of those windows have kind of a golden glow behind them. She's in a bit of winter, right? And like her head is barren, right? Like her head is her rooted area is barren, whereas her feet are blossoming. So it's just really telling me that like the inverse of what we would think would be so is where you're going to find your passion. Your passion may be buried underneath your feet rather than coming from the top of your head. Your passion is coming from your feet up. So, and it just keeps, I keep going back to like it being in your feet, meaning that it's within your physical body as opposed to in your thought process. In other words, you're not going to think yourself into your passion. You're going to find your passion by grounding yourself in your body. That is what I am seeing and hearing in this card. But I want to also talk to you about the Five of Pentacles because the Five of Pentacles is a little bit of a different meaning, right? Because the fives tend to talk about conflict, challenge, things like that. And the Five of Pentacles can talk about a loss, right? A loss of some kind, a sadness, a grief, a bit of poverty, right? A winter of poverty, some misfortune, okay? Ill health or struggles of some kind, right? It's really interesting because I really think it is from some of you may have been in that space. You might be in that space right now. You may have gone through a health situation which has turned things upside down in your life, or you may have dealt with some financial issues that have caused you to have to make some choices that maybe you wouldn't have had to make because of the choices that you made. But what I'm hearing is that that is part of the upside down situation, in that your passion is going to come from that loss, if that makes sense. So the abundance is going to come from that loss. If any of you are in this group, because this card is really talking about a period of loss, whether that be like health loss or financial loss, or, you know, the Pentacles really talk about like your foundation. It could be a loss of house. It could be a loss of, a family structure of some kind, right? Like a support. You know, Pentacles talk about your kind of life support system, your foundational pieces of your life. So it could be a loss in any of those areas that provided sort of security and foundation in your life. But what Spirit is saying is that loss, the learnings that you have gotten from that loss, even if you're in the process of learning it right now, y'all, is going to be the blossoming of your passion and will lead to abundance, because there is great abundance coming. Okay. That is really what I'm hearing. Now, the other thing, the Two of Swords really talks about choices. It's like choices, choices, choices. Okay. And the Two of Swords, often you can see in this depiction of the Two of Swords, it's like the leaves are down. And so it's like they're covering the eyes. So there's a bit of this idea of sort of being blinded, right? The choices, there's like a black and white bird up there, like kind of showing the duality of the choices, right? It can feel sometimes that the choice is that you're between a rock and a hard place. Like neither choice is a particularly good choice, right? That's what it can feel like, right? It can be an indecision, stalemate, feeling like an impasse. And then there's their whole element of the self-delusion by not really looking closely at the situation. And so it's really telling me that this has to do with what's been going on with this loss, what's been going on in this Five of Pentacles, in this disruption, this loss of something that was foundational within your life. But the Spirit is saying that now is the time for you to make a decision. In order to make that decision, you've got to stop deluding yourself. You've got to take off the blinders and look clearly at the situation. Look clearly at what is going on. Reconnect to your body. When we go through things like this, like a loss of our security, a loss of our foundation of some kind, we oftentimes will flee our body. And so we're not even consciously aware that we are not fully grounded in our body. And therefore, if you're not fully grounded in your body, it's going to be really hard to be tapped into your heart to know what it is that you're passionate about. And so Spirit is really saying you need to reground yourself in your body so that you can get to your heartbeat again and understand that which gives you inspiration, that which lights you up, that which puts you on fire. Because as soon as you discover that, as soon as you're clear about what that is, you are going to be able to move forward with purpose. The Chariot card is all about lessons learned and going back and making a decision based on the lessons learned and moving forward with purpose. The light and the shadow have been blended together. They have been worked through, right? So it's like some of you all may be in shadow, but the work that you're doing there is going to lead you to the Chariot, because you will have worked through your light and your shadow, and you will be able to move full speed ahead with purpose towards success. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about the kinds of kind of careers or career areas that the Chariot covers. But I just want to talk about, like, once you begin to move with purpose, then you have the Wheel card. And this is the Wheel talking about, look here too, she's balancing the light and the dark. And once you are able to do that, you are going to be able to move the wheel to the Wheel of Fortune and allow you to have more favorable outcomes in your life. Okay. Which is just really very beautiful that this is a part, all of this struggle is a part of life, right? So, Spirit is just kind of showing you, like, this, nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted, right? Like, you're going to be able to balance what you've been through so that you can get to the success you need and find your passion, right? Now, the thing about the Chariot often, it can rule jobs or careers or fields of focus of, like, transportation, software development, some kind of like carrier services or some kind, postal service, or like, FedEx or anything that's like moving something, right? Like, could be shipping and receiving, okay? Could be quality control. It also, interesting enough, can cover like motivational speakers, the Chariot can, okay? And then the Wheel, it's like the things that are in motion. So again, that sort of, it reiterates this idea of transportation as well, but it also is talking about change. So some of you may be dealing with careers that deal with change. I know there's careers like change management. Okay, so that would be something underneath the career. It also talks about helping people with their changes in their lives, whether that be like a life coach or a dietitian or a fitness instructor. All of these things Also, like anything where people need to change, like, so if they're needing to change location, supporting people with changing locations. So whether that be like relocation, like services, or what am I trying to say? Real estate, like real estate, helping people to kind of make those changes, right? So these are some areas that might be hitting on some cues in terms of where your passion is. And I still also think that the music piece is something there for many of you that may be listening, that there's this piece. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing there. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull for what can move you closer to your purpose and passion. All right. I think really the main message that I'm hearing here is this sort of inverse, this using your shadow and light to be able to propel you forward. That it's critical for you to be able to find your passion, to get to discover what it is to take your blinders off. You know the truth. Do not allow yourself to delude yourself. Okay, so that you can move forward with speed. Like the chariot understands where they're going and they move forward with speed. Okay. And there's also the other message here is that you need to get into your body, right? You need to, finding your passion is not going to be found in just sitting there trying to rack your brain or think about what is my passion, what is my passion, what is my passion. It's about actually getting yourself physically in your body and allowing what sets you on fire to come forth to you. Okay. Now, in terms of what you need to do or know, you've got the solar plexus chakra. Abundance. Wow. The world is abundant when you choose to see it that way. It's a reminder that you need to take your blinder off. Okay. The solar plexus, anybody who's working with chakras, that's, sort of your power center. And I think it's important to be able to kind of tap back into that. Oftentimes that can get depleted when we go through a period of loss or something like that. So, tapping into how you might be able to leverage that would be good. Oh, beautiful. You are living poetry. You are living poetry. Okay, so this is, again, we're looking at what it is that you need to know or do to be able to move closer to your passion or live in your passion. All right. And this is a beautiful card. It talks about your personal brand and it's asking you, what is your personal brand? Are you allowing yourself to shine through all the things that you say, do, think about, and say and do? You are living poetry, and your unique rhythmic nature reflects a soul story, a resonance, and a signature of verses that is all your own. As the breathing, moving, changing expressions of the divine, how are you showing up in your story? How you express yourself in the world allows your energetic light to shine fully or not. All right. So it's time to interact with your life in a way that reflects the most luminous parts of your nature. If part of your poetry has been hiding beneath the painful scars of a past memory, or if something is getting in the way of your full creative contribution, get curious about how those experiences, those past fears, worries, and guilt could actually help you to better understand your gifts and your story. Look at all of it, share it, transform it, and make your expression of yourself a prerequisite to what comes next. Okay. So this is really just a confirmation that whatever has been going on here, this loss that you've been dealing, Spirit is asking you to listen, right? Listen and to step authentically into who you are. Allow those experiences to infuse who you are. They're saying transmute that pain into a powerful push forward. Okay. Push forward towards your passion. So let's see what the Tarot said in regards to what you need to know or do to move towards your passion. And you've got the Four of Inspirations, which is the Four of Wands. You've got the Ace of Emotions. Excuse me. You've got the Three of Pentacles and the World card. Okay, that's lovely. Okay, so your Four of Inspirations, this is a beautiful card because it's the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands really talks about it's foundational in a sense. Okay, so it talks about abundance, but it's like building the foundation, right? Like they're sitting here and they're all connected, but they're sitting on a solid foundation, even though it's not completed yet, right? They're at the four, so they're still kind of in the middle, but they are still sitting on a solid foundation because that's what the four kind of speaks of, is this foundation, right? It also talks about a celebration, okay, a gathering with friends and family, a marriage of some kind, like a coming together, a union, if you will, a celebration of stability. Okay, so this lets me know that one of the ways that you can support stepping into your passion is connecting with friends and family. It is communicating. It talks about in this You Are Living Poetry. It talks about speaking about it, transforming any pain that you had into what it is that you're bringing forth. So, and I really see them sort of all connecting as they're sort of almost like they're meditating there and pulling forth what they want to truly manifest. Okay. And you've got the Ace of Emotions, which is such a lovely card because remember that aces are all about beginnings. Okay. But the emotions this is like the Ace of Cups, right? So it talks about emerging relationships, emerging new feelings, compassion, emotional intelligence, okay? And the intuition of the heart, all right? It's time to connect with any repressed emotions, healing, and unblocking creativity. So in order, what you're needing to know and do is you're needing to tap into your healing, begin to transmute the sorrow or loss that happened there so that you're open to do the work and receive what it is that's coming. Because what you've got here too is a connection with community. The Three of Pentacles talks about sort of an interim period of success that comes from collective collaboration. So working within the community, working with others toward something. And it may be that if you're not yet clear on what your passion is, you're still discovering what it is, that you may find what it is by doing some community project or doing something at work where it's a collaborative work where you're working with other people. You may find that that's when you begin to discover what it is that you are passionate about, what kind of is setting your soul on fire, right? And then the next card that you have is the World card, okay? The World card is like an end of a cycle, and what I'm really hearing and seeing in this one is that it's going to be an end of the cycle of any sorrow or loss or doubt, that you may have here, and the beginning of a new cycle of abundance coming in, okay? The World card is really also talking about some of you the World card can talk about different aspects of career and work that you might be looking into too. So it can also talking about maybe an interest in sort of land or geography. It can talk about interest in possibly travel, okay? Something that involves travel around the world, something that broadens your horizons and puts you in contact with people around the world in some way, okay? Some sort of global initiative of some kind. The World card can also talk about working in like government of some kind because it allows you to be in connection with the wider world surface. I also now in our modern day think about the world in the ways that we are connected around the world through like the web, or now in the more modern megaverse. Y'all confused me. I know I'm kind of I might not know the right word, but metaverse, maybe metaverse. But, just the ways in which the world is connecting, right? The world card kind of speaks to that as well. So it's about also you exploring, broadening your horizons out into the world in terms of what may be possible with your passion. Abundance. The world is abundant when you choose to see it that way, right? That's what you got here with your solar plexus chakra card, okay? The world is abundant. This is actually very beautiful, you all. There's just transmutation happening here. There's healing that needs to happen here. And then there's such great force with the chariot going in with a sense of purpose to take you directly to success with your passions, right? And the world card showing you that the world is at your feet and that there are great possibilities for you. Lean into your communities, take off your blinders, and it's all there for you. And also remember the messages from before around really kind of opening up, those of you who are particularly intuitive, really opening up, your eyes, your ears, and your heart to receive the messages from your guides that are guiding you in a specific direction toward your passion. Trust them. Trust and know that everything will be well. Now let's listen to the information from Spirit. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. Okay. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. Agapanthus. Maybe that's not correct. Incorrect. And then you've got energy. And then this is when we're going to look at this card here, which is the blessing of the kata bestowed. This is such a beautiful thing. It's talking about this fabric here. But let's look at this. So this right here is talking about be impeccable to your word. That's what this card really speaks about. It speaks about all of you beautiful souls who chose pile number 3, that you are connected to a lineage of priests and kings, and it is very important, priests and queens and kings, and it is important that you be impeccable to your word, and to everything, really, to just be impeccable in terms of doing what is right, what you know to be right, what is in the right moral code. That's why some of you are a little bit more intuitive and more engaged, like maybe highly empathetic, may have a high sense of sixth senses and connection because of your lineage that you are coming here with generationally. So it's really speaking to, there's a reason why you have these abilities. So I'm hearing that some of you may, it's not that you're like trying to be, not impeccable. It's just that you may not really be trusting or believing what you're actually hearing and feeling. And this is kind of confirmation that you need to pay attention to your intuition and your inner knowing. It's letting me know that you have a knowledge of your own divinity and your own self-mastery. You also probably are individuals who have a very clear moral code, and you know in which the ways that you need to respond and move within the world. And oftentimes, sometimes that can lead some of you to go through these periods of loss because there's certain lines that you cannot cross in a world that can be very unfair, I guess is the malicious sometimes and unfair, yeah. So it can cause you to have, but it's saying, this card is saying, do your best, tell the truth, do what you believe is right, consult your inner wellspring of wisdom, act with honor and courage, okay? Take your time and do it right. Yeah. Override any impulse to take the easy way out. All right. It's actually the agapanthus is an actual flower, right? All of these are cards. That's why I use them. There's a homeopathic flower essence remedy that is out there as well for any of you all who are interested in that. It says, do not even briefly entertain any action that is not in alignment with perfect truth or the most authentic good of everyone concerned. Let excellence in your word, thought, and deed be your guiding star. While this might not always seem easy when considering the short term, when considering the long term, it is the only path worth following, as it will reap rewards on all levels in all directions of time. That's a really deep piece there, and I think it's particularly for this group. I haven't seen that in the other readings. I think you all just need to be impeccable in your word. And when you are impeccable, abundance is really going to be yours, okay? The other thing, this beautiful card, this fire spirit card is saying that your energy also comes from the earth, okay? She's deeply connected and rooted into the earth. And so one of the ways in which you will receive earth, and actually we did have that in the beginning here. It did say, protect your energy in social settings, cleanse when you get home. And that's what that had come out. But this is telling me you and this group in particular have a connection. You are energized by the earth. If you have an opportunity to literally take off your shoes and go and walk on the actual ground, and I'm talking about somewhere that's not pavement, but the actual earth ground, and put your feet in the dirt, I think it will be an energizing force for you. Okay. So, some of you may be really you got the world card here too. So some of you, your passion might be environmental. You may be working with the earth in some way or supporting the earth in some way because you're going to be energized by her. So that's definitely something that is there for you. Okay. And this is a 17, which is actually equals 8. And your first card, which I thought was so spiritual and connected, is also an 8, right? So there's some really interesting connections there. All right, this was, oh, wait, I know I have to share this piece. This part is beautiful. I have to share this. So this is like the overarching card. This is the card that you picked when you came into the reading, and it is the blessing of the kata bestowed, okay? The kata is the actual cloth there. And it says here that in the Tibetan tradition, the white silk cloth known as the kata is a positive symbol that argues new relationships with blessings for good fortune. It is a symbol of devotion, and it is also a visual reminder of divine blessing granted for a successful transition into a new chapter of your life. In whatever way that manifests, including through a new or deepened relationship, this oracle is a sign of good intention and goodwill, of divine presence in new relationships, and is an auspicious gift for new beginnings. These blessings are very special and are given to you now from the Divine Mother. Nurture your anticipation of that goodness in your life with joy in your heart. If you feel that something is over or that something new needs to begin, be assured that all situations in your life are held in the hand of the divine and are being attended to according to grace. Pray for what is rightfully yours, and then let go with absolute trust that you are being cared for by the divine in all her power, tenderness, and grace. That is really beautiful, you all. And I really hope that this is helpful to you to find your passion. And thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. Please go down there and click that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next reading. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. Wow, I've been on a journey with these readings. They have all been very different, although somewhat similar. In that we're all in the journey of trying to find our passion, right? Find our passion, find our purpose. So what we're looking at today is, what is my passion? And then we're pulling some cards on what do we need to know or do right now to bring us closer to our passion, or to be even deeper in our passion if we're already there. And then we'll look at a couple of cards to receive guidance from Spirit. I want to say a couple of things. I want to first thank all those who have subscribed, liked, or shared this channel. This is the Abundant Joy Tarot. I am Ade. Please, if you are enjoying the readings that you're getting here, go down there and click that subscribe button. It's an easy click for you, and it will help us to grow the channel and the community, and be able to help me to expand who I'm able to reach. So I appreciate it. I want to also say that this is the general reading, and to be clear that, you know, this journey of finding our passion or living within our passion is something that it takes time, and it also requires multiple inputs as well as outputs from ourselves. So my hope today is to give you some inspiration, some hope, some guidance, maybe some ideas around what the cards are saying might be an area of interest for you. But really, you need to listen deeply to your heart to know which direction you need to go. And hopefully we'll get some inspiring messages from Spirit as well to just support you on this journey. Many of you have guides that are working with you and have been working with you for some time, and have been nudging you in the direction, right? Nudging you in the direction. So let's jump right in. If you chose the yellow Aventurine, and this card here, this is going to be your reading. Now we're going to read this card here last. This was just to pull you into the reading, and it is guidance from Spirit. So we will do that. But first, we're just going to go right into looking at what is my passion, and see if we can get some clues for what that is or can be, where you're emerging and where you're going. And sometimes we've been getting some information around what might be blocking you. So we'll look at that. So here we go. So your first card, Wizard of Awareness. Okay, here we are with this little Merlin type energy here. The Wizard of Awareness is talking about mindfulness. Okay. And so it's interesting that I said right at the beginning, and I was just saying that as a general overview, but now I'm feeling like Spirit was kind of continuing to nudge me to talk about this idea that you all have guides and spirits that are around you. Now, one of the reasons why mindfulness is so important for that is because mindful is the act of observing what is around you, but it's not just observing what's around you, it's also observing what is within you. Okay, this card speaks to your soul knows best, so be still and observe. Okay, mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you, and this applies to the environment within you. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new, powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by the opinions or desires of others, or even in the past or in the present, right? So it talks about kind of wearing the world as a loose garment, so that you sort of have to adapt this nature of an observer, right? Observer, let it be and watch the miracle unfold. All is good, okay? That's what this wizard is saying. So there's sort of like an energy here in terms of what it is that you need to do to bring that passion forward. I get the sense that like you already, the passion that is yours is already going inside of you. Like it's already there. In order for you to be clear about what it is, you need to take a step back and almost observe yourself. Pay attention to what is igniting your energy. What makes you What changes your vibration when you talk about certain things, or when you engage with certain people, or when you go to certain places, when you listen to certain music or watch certain media? What is it that, when do you watch and observe that your body has a different sensation in it, that your mind starts, kind of igniting in a different type of way? That is your clue into what is your passion, right? So pay attention to those things. Now, in terms of your charm card, this is the pencil, and it talks about it's okay to make mistakes because you can erase, right? But it's important to learn from those mistakes. It talks about keep moving forward, hold your vision, and keep adding to the story of your life. Some of you, what I'm hearing is that some of you have been on this journey for some time, and you may feel like you thought maybe you could do certain things, but you're thinking, oh, I don't have enough time to do that now, or certain things have happened, and maybe I'm not in the same health situation that I was in. I'm maybe not in the same location that I'm in. I may not have the same finances I have. And it just feels like that what your original vision is lost. And what Spirit is saying very clearly is that no, it is not. It is not. There are multiple ways to get to your outcome. And part of your outcome, getting to your full passion, part of it is the journey, the lessons that you're learning on the journey, the times when you've had to erase or mark things off and start over. All of those are adding to your information to get you to your passion. So hold on to your vision, and please don't get discouraged with the changes going on, because there's nothing around you that you cannot handle. You are never given anything that is beyond what you can handle. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like that, y'all, but the truth is, that is the truth. Like, you really can handle it. Even if you have to get support, reach out for support. You don't have to do life alone. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's look at your tarot for what is your passion. Ooh, look at that. Yes. Okay, the Page of Wands. Look at those birds. And I love that there's this eye here, like the observer, right? We're just talking about this mindfulness of the observer. Okay, I'm going to put all the cards down before I start going in. Okay, justice. Look at that. Justice. Okay. And then, ooh, the Sun card. That's the happiness card. I love it. There's a lot of earth elements here. The world, look at that. Okay, so there's a lot of earth elements here, which is interesting to me. But I really was drawn into this because of this whole observer thing. It's almost like this eye reminds me, my last group, the group 3 was also a very intuitive group, but I feel like this group is also intuitive. It's a different energy that I'm feeling. The energy is more their energy felt a little bit more astral. Astral, does that make sense? Like star related almost, kind of. And this group feels more earthbound, like, or more earthbound, like, but deeply connected. Like your intuitive side, your sixth sense, your other abilities is coming from the earth. It's not that it wasn't coming from that with the pile 3. Some of you may have actually been listening to pile 3 and now you're listening to pile 4, and that would kind of make sense because there's some connections here that I think make sense. But anyway, so for this card, like, I'm really getting the sense it's also the Page of Wands is a very youthful energy. It's also an adventurer, right? Like, he's like almost looking like a Sherlock Holmes here, but like an adventurer, and like he's surrounded in the wilderness. And I really get this sense of like travel, right? So when thinking about your passion, I feel like in this pile, like some of you may be into traveling, you may be into exploring things or looking deep deeply at things, like the way that he's got this, or she has this magnifying glass, like illuminating things. Some of you may be scientists in some ways, but I'm really getting a sense of more like earth sciences, right? Like a geologist or an animal scientist, or, working with animals of some kind. It could be domestic or even more exotic than that. I also get the sense of like just being connected in a traveling in a way, but less so like some of the earlier piles where I felt like it was like communicating with people, connecting with people. This pile feels really, it's not that you're not dealing with people, it just feels like there's more of like, maybe more of you are more connected to nature, right? Like there's some nature influences here. However, we do have the Justice card, and the Justice card really tells me that one of your areas of passion may be in the field of law of some kind. Now, that can be pretty expansive in terms of what that could be, right? We're obviously talking about, judges and lawyers and police officers and, all of that. But they're also like, justice is about karma. So it's about cause and effect. So it's also like careers or things where there is like a cause and effect, right? So that could actually lead you to things like, health and nutrition, and like helping people get from like point A from point B with their health and nutrition, because like there is a cause and there is an effect. So that could also be in like the medical field or something. Wherever there is sort of a cause and effect is where justice is. So the obvious one is like law. Like some of you may actually be, engaged in like learning more about the law, learning about justice. It also could be government, but from the sense of more like the sort of rules and regulations of the law, the balancing of things, right? The balancing of things. That is what I'm seeing there. Now, the sun, I love that card is there. It's such a joyful card in terms of thinking about what your passion is. Like the sun and the world is so wonderful. The world reminds me again of the traveling, like that many of you really, I'm really getting the sense that there's travel involved. No matter what you all are looking at, there's a sense of travel. The world also talks about government, which I talked about before, but also just ways of careers or projects or things that allow you to connect with people around the world, right? That allow you to connect with people around the world. Now, the sun, it's really a joyful card. It also can kind of connect with careers that may have to do with children. This also reminds me of like, I don't remember what the name of that little adventure show is. There's like, there's like a kids adventure show. I can't call what it is right now. I'm thinking it's like Magic School Bus or something, where they're like exploring, like they become miniature and then they explore. Anyway, this reminds me of this sort of playful energy, childlike energy. And the sun can really talk about careers that are working with children in some capacity, as well as like teaching, kind of this sort of joyful, playful energy, helping people to play, like jobs that have to do with like play, right? So like doing something with like amusement, right? Amusement parks or outdoor things like, swimming, like working with like being like a lifeguard or swimming or doing something natural in that way. I feel like all of that is really here in terms of possibility. So hopefully some of that resonates with you. I think this is just a beautiful reading in terms of not only what's possible here in terms of what the interest and the passion might be, but what this is actually saying, because the Page of Wands, also pages can be like an apprentice. So it's almost like you're kind of at the beginning of discovering what it is that is your passion, but then you've got these major arcana cards, one after another, which lets me know that you're on your soul journey, right? Like you're actually in the right place. And then justice itself is talking about the balancing of the scales, being able to find the truth, right? Find the truth of what needs to be for your life. And ultimately, like what the divine really wants us to live a life that's full of passion and love and hope and joy and all of those things. And so like the fact that justice is there and sort of balancing out things out and then leading you to the sun, which is just about joy and happiness and passion. Like that is just such a beautiful thing. And then the world is a completion, right? It's the completion of a successful completion of a cycle. So it lets me know that this beautiful pile, you are definitely on the road to your passion. If you're not already in the work of your passion, if you're not already doing it now, you're definitely on the right path toward it. Okay, it feels like there's an easy flow of finding your passion. If you are listening to this and feeling like I'm listening to it because I don't know what my passion is, what I would say to you is it is literally on the tip. It's like one of those things where it's like on the tip of your tongue and you just can't quite name it yet, but all you need to do is be the observer. Step back and be the observer of yourself, be the observer of your environment. Take note of how you're actually feeling. So often we're walking through this world and we're not even conscious of what we're literally feeling. Like we're just kind of going through the motions. This card is telling you to stop, slow down, observe what's happening, and allow your feelings to show up for you. And when you see them, it will be very clear to you what it is that's driving your passion. Now, you may run across some fear when you actually allow yourself to see it, right? You may be like, oh, well, wait a minute, I can't do that. How is that going to do that? And that's when you need to lean on the divine. You need to let that fear go and trust that all will be well, that you are being well taken care of, because you're divine. The Spirit speaks to us through our heart. And so the divine wants you to follow your heart so you can trust that. We're just often walking around here blinded, not really listening to our heart because we feel like we need to go through the motions. But that card is telling you to slow down, okay? Hopefully all that makes sense. We're going to jump into the next phase of the reading where we're going to look at what you need to know or do to continue to move on your path towards your passion or deepen your path in your passion. Wow, so you've got the sacral chakra. So any of you all working with chakras, this is an area which you can spend some time focusing. And this is going to be your power center. So this is going to help you as you begin to step further into it to have no fear, right? And this says fertility. Let your life burst forth from the seeds of creation. I love all this earth energy. There's really this sort of sense of like explosive creativity, this blooming, this blossoming, right? And all in connection to the earth. I really feel like some of you may find your passion in doing something with the earth of some kind, whether it be environmental issues or I don't know what it is that you're doing, but I want you to get out there and do it because we need you to do it. So, to be connected with the earth in some way. But there's just so much beautiful earth energy here and world energy here. I think that is an area of passion for you. Let's look at this other oracle. Oh, okay, water. So this is creator water. This is talking about the element of water. It also talks about how the element of water is all about emotion, right? Dipping into your intuition and your emotion. So this is telling me, because we're asking now, what do you need to know or do to bring you even closer into your passion? And this card says to me very clearly that one of the things that you need to do is to tap more deeply into your intuition. And that is clear throughout here. Like I can really feel that this group is an intuitive group, right? But there's a sense in which there's another level of your intuition that you can get to that's going to help you solidify what your passion is. Some of you already know what your passion is. Like I can feel that fairly clearly. Some of you are already working on it. If you're not already working on it, you know what it is, and something is stopping you from moving forward with it. And I'm telling you that you need to move forward. And one of the ways that will solidify it or can firm it up for you, right, is connecting to the earth and connecting to water, i.e. your emotions, physical water, yes, but also your emotions and your intuition. You can take baths, right? You can take baths. You can take spiritual baths. You can take just regular baths and allow yourself to kind of sit and meditate and allow yourself to feel while you're in the water. That can also kind of help to open this group up, because water is going to be a source of it's going to be a salve for you. It's going to be a medicine for you. So water can be very healing for you. Water is connected to the emotions, being in the flow and relying on your intuition. It governs the germination of ideas and conception, and it lives in the realm of dreams and prophecy. Okay? The element of water is insightful, healing, and cleansing. How can your intuition be of use to you right now? And what happens when you allow it to restore your balance? Okay, so that's what it's really saying in that card there. Now let's pull your tarot for what you need to know and do. Interesting. So you've got the Page of Inspirations, which is the Page of Wands. So you've got a double Page of Wands here. All about creativity, right? This one really feels like adventure. This is like it's the same. It's Page of Wands is the same, okay? But the other aspect of it that this is reminding me of is that the Page of Wands is also speaking about a burst of creativity, like a burst of ideas, right? Like creative ideas, just a million sparks of light, as it says. Like, there's so much energy with this Page of Wands. And again, the pages can be like apprentice. It's like a younger energy. Okay, let me see what else we have here. Okay, so we've got the Four of Pentacles, or Four Materials, the Ace of Cups, beautiful, and the Three of Cups. How lovely is that? Okay, so, all right, so the Four of Pentacles it can talk about charity. It also has a sense of like holding on to things. It can almost have a bit of a hoarding energy, right? But what I am receiving here in this particular one intuitively is that this is speaking more about holding on to self, right? Like just from the energy that she is holding, there's like, she's kind of got this light around her head. And the Four of Pentacles here really feels like, although she's sort of holding on to those roses, it's almost like there's a need for you as you're going through this process. What you need to know and do is that as a part of uncovering your passion, you may need to hold some of it close to your vest, right? Close to heart. Allow yourself to germinate. Just, how just like it talks about, the Page of Wands is also, and the water is about germinating seeds, right? Now, when you're germinating a seed, you've got to hold it in a container. It's got to stay covered and nurtured within its container. When you're like getting those first roots that came, it's very delicate. You have to be easy with it. If you're not easy with it, it's not going to last, right? You're going to have a problem with your roots. So it's really important that you allow the seed to germinate in the right atmosphere, protected around in the right container, right? And this is what this feels like to me, that there's a need for you to know that as you're moving towards your passion, discovering it, doing your initial steps in it, that you need to allow yourself to germinate. Be the mother of your own seed, okay? And then you've got this beautiful Ace of Cups, which is about beginnings. Aces are always about beginnings, but it's a beginning burst of love, right? Is what the Ace of Cups is. It's one of the ways that I see it, right? It can be a messenger of love. It can be a message of like an incoming new love of some kind. But because we're talking about your passion, it's almost like it feels like it's saying this is like a messenger of a new love, like a passion, right? A new passion, a new love that you are coming to know about yourself that's going to draw you forward. And then you've got the Three of Cups, which is about taking that love and celebrating some success within your community and within the people around you. So there's sort of this sense of like, as you're discovering your passion, there's a need for you to allow it to germinate. Be very gentle with yourself and with your process of finding your passion. Be careful, not in a way that you need to be nervous or fearful about it, but just be mindful about who you share your passion with, and allow yourself to share your passion with those who will nurture you, right? Rather than pull your weed out. Okay. Allow your, pull your root out. Like, allow yourself to be nurtured. So go to those individuals who are your champions, who will nurture your passion, and until you can kind of get your sea legs under you, and those who are dealing with water, right? And then there'll be an opportunity for you to really share it and celebrate it within community. I really feel like this is just a really beautiful reading. There's a lot of different ways. I'm really seeing a lot of earth energy, travel energy, the justice, the balancing of the scales, finding passion within that. And your main remedy here is being mindful, watching your internal workings, and figuring out what it is that you actually, what gets your heart pumping, what gets your fire going. Okay, so the messages from Spirit, you've got Foxglove, gather your courage. That's, gather your courage. We'll talk about that. Ooh, trust. Beautiful. And then we're going to, I definitely want to share this beautiful message from Remember Me, the Divine Mother Within. Okay, let's talk about this foxglove. So the foxglove is this, is a trumpeter here of courage. It's talking about bring in your courage. Okay, so as it sort of feels like this is like the initial stages of jumping into your passion, you all. And I just feel like Spirit is saying, have courage. The time is right to summon your courage and powerfully banish, dissolve, and destroy any and all cords to fear that might have been holding you back. Listen to your heart. Act to your heart's clearest visions and fondest desires. Boldly step in the directions of your dreams. Okay, that is just so lovely. Okay, it says, simply choose in this moment to consciously connect with the earth and your true divine identity, and see yourself in the light of fortitude, resilience, and strength. When you do so, all fears will depart, and any form or belief of disempowerment and danger will fall away. Did we not just talk about the earth? Like, there's this connection to the earth here. There's really, like she's standing in the earth here. The sun, she's barefooted in the ground, which is also a remedy for you all. There's also, you've got the water element. There's the adventurer. There's just so much. You've got the world under here, which is the completion of the cycle. So there's just a lot of really beautiful earth energy, okay? And then you've got trust. And trust is gorgeous. This really, it's just a very, very simple message here. It's the crystal cave. And it's saying you can let go and allow your clear, focused intuition to flow freely. Follow the nudges from your soul. Listen to others, but trust your instincts, because you are being guided by your guides and by the divine. You are being nudged, and that's why you can fully trust your instincts, because you're being guided in the way that's going to lead you to the sun, which is ultimately joy and happiness, and the world, which is the completion of a successful cycle. It's just such a beautiful direction, and it's a very clear message that you're on your soul journey. All of you beautiful souls who chose pile number 4. I want to share with you this final card, which is Remember Me, the Divine Mother Within. I think this is such a beautiful message. It says, I believe in you. I will never leave you. I will never abandon you. I see the truth of you. I know you are worthy. No matter how strong and grown up you become or how vulnerable and small you may feel, I love you, my own wild child divine. Trust in me, the divine mother within you, to guide, comfort, nurture you into the beautiful fullness of your divine destiny. I mean, that is just so gorgeous. I love that so much. The other part about this card that I think is really beautiful, if there's any of you out there who are mothers and are feeling like, oh, I'm not a strong enough mother. There's a message here. It says, if you are doubting your ability to mother, and that's also for anybody who's not a mother, right? If you're not a mother, we are mothering ourselves. We're mothering our communities. We're mothering all the time, okay? And I just think it's a beautiful message here. Your ability to mother and care for yourself or others. Remember that you have the love of the divine mother within you. Trust your connection to the mother wisdom within. And that's male or female, it's just the divine mother is in each and every one of us, no matter how we identify from a gender perspective. So this is a sign from the Divine Mother. She's helping you and guiding you from within now. She has heard your request for help and she is responding. Tune into your own inner wisdom and trust yourself. This is the way that you can allow her to help you. So I hope that you all found this beneficial. It has been a joy doing a reading with all of these beautiful cards today. And also, I'm really hoping that it is inspiring you, giving you some sense of assurance, hope, support to move ever closer to your passion. You deserve a powerful, passionate life. You are worthy. You are enough. You are able. And I hope that you have a joyfully abundant day. If you like the messages that you're receiving here or the readings that you're getting here, please click that subscribe button and go ahead and hit a like. And I will see you in your next reading. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.